to the LEC. Stop knocking your mic. Welcome everyone to the LEC postgame lobby. I'm joined by Broxa, caPs, and Jankos. You were just checking if it works, right?
Yeah.
It does. It works. Wonderful. Yeah, we just saw the interview with Targamas already, but really cool that we get to talk to the mid laner and the jungler as well. So I'm going to go across both of them. Start with caPs, maybe. Wow, another 3-0. And I'd like to know specifically about kind of the final moments of the last game, which was actually the game where Fnatic was most competitive.
Yeah, I mean, for sure, it started becoming a lot closer. A lot of the fights were not really going our way, or they would go our way and then they would get something back. So it was very intense, and it felt more like the usual Fnatic G2 games. So it was a lot of fun. Luckily, we got some Drake steals, some good fights in the end. And yeah, I'm just happy we beat them, right?
Yeah, Jankos, the Drake steal was pretty instrumental. It was also kind of the game where things were the closest, as I said already. It seemed also in the jungle, right? How, yeah, here it is, I think. Is this it? I believe it is. Talk to me about the Drake steal.
Well, I mean, I think there's not much to talk about that. GP actually, like,
True.
I think GP smurfed really hard in this fight because he got like, I was trying to stun him, I was trying to proc like Braum passive, but it didn't proc in time. He queued the barrel exploded for like 10 million damage. And at that point we had 2v3, right, or 2v4 even. So, I mean, I think overall I had to go for a steal. If I get it, we win. If I don't get it, I just die. It's fine. Doesn't actually matter that much. We fight next check. I think it was good still, but I also think that actually was quite well played from Wunder to do whatever he did there. That being said, I still think he shouldn't be allowed to do that if we would play the team a bit better, but it's fine.
Okay, so I hear a little bit of, what's your read on that, Broxa? Do you feel like he was put in a position, Wunder, where he should never have been?
Yeah, I think it's fair to say that Wunder got a little bit too much room to play and just delete the G2's backline in that scenario.
The casters actually brought up Bin. Of course, they always do, but it was very close to the bush where he got that triple barrel. But you guys probably didn't think that in the moment.
No, we didn't. But I mean, I didn't actually see it in game either because I was on the back line.
Yeah.
Maybe I shouldn't have been, but yeah, seeing it behind sun for sure would have given me some pictures of that one, because that one was not the most fun.
No, there we see the coaching team also. You brought so many people. Does that actually help you, Jankos and caPs, when there are so many people and their body painted and our Carlos is there? Like, does it help or is it distracting, Jankos?
I mean, I think people are fine. I don't actually care that much about how many G2 people we bring. I care more about the fans. I actually think that when the fans are here, it just feels so much different to play. There's so much more energy in the room. When you make good play, you can hear them. When you make, when I heard, when I stole the Drake and they were yelling, I was like, yeah, you got shot, yeah. So I think that it brings so much more energy, and of course I'm grateful for G2 that there's so many people supporting us in the studio, but at the same time I think the fans really make the difference.
Yeah, I think that's a great point indeed, and we're so happy that they were there. caPs, how much does it help for you? Because obviously this is what you're born to do, right? You don't want to play in front of an empty arena, you want to play in front of a full one.
For sure, yeah. I mean, it's as Jankos mentioned, like, it's just every play you go for, you can just hear the crowd like 5 seconds later, like 2 seconds later, start roaring, and especially because when you go for a huge play, then there's a lot of downtime right after, where you're like, okay, we got the kills right, and then you just hear everyone go crazy, and it's what kind of made me want to be a pro player in the first place. I still remember my first like a huge stadium in Turkey in TCL, and this was kind of the moment that decided I was like, I want to go pro, and not having it for so long was really frustrating for me. But having them back now, all the fans, I'm super grateful. My dad as well, my mom as well here today, so it's nice.
You're in the crowd, it was lovely to see. Broxa, what was your kind of end opinion on the whole series for a Fnatic who first wasn't able to adapt, but then started to, but it seemed a bit too late?
Well, I'm going to be honest, I thought the series was going to be a little bit closer today, but you guys ultimately just smashed them into the ground, and I think what we needed to see from Fnatic was a bit more proactivity in the early game, because every play that these guys went for just worked out perfectly. The last game obviously was a little bit different. Fnatic adapted slightly, but there are still some things that, I would have liked to see from them already starting from draft to actually have a more of an advantage in game.
Yeah, from you guys and your guys' perspective, from your kind of prep and what you saw from Fnatic versus Rogue as well, how much were they different in this series, and why do you think ultimately they couldn't win today?
I mean, I think they just didn't adapt a lot, and I think we changed a lot the last 2 weeks. We had kind of like always getting new things, maybe stealing some ideas from Fnatic. Obviously, always good when you lose to them, and I feel like they kind of just ran with the same ideas, same plans, and Rogue already like showed us kind of a way to beat them, we can kind of just copy that, right?
Yeah, I completely agree. I think it seemed like Fnatic had the same game plan as they had 2 weeks ago, and when we go over like 3 different BO5s, including the Fnatic one, and we actually like adapt and learn, and we change our picks a little bit, we change our playstyle a little bit, it feels like we can actually like play the game. I also feel like in the first BO5 against Fnatic, we were a bit shaky on stage. I felt like, sure, they had really good drafts, we gave them too many strong champions, at the same time we maybe were playing not up to our expectations. So I think that makes also a difference in the end.
I mean, there's such a difference. You call it out, but between the G2 we saw there and the G2 we've seen versus Vitality, Misfits, and Fnatic now, you are the Kia player of the series, Jankos, with 56% of the votes. Congratulations. It was a tough battle. Clearly, do you think it was the final Dragon Steel that pushed you over the edge?
Maybe it was the Dragon Steel. I don't actually, I mean, so I think I was playing quite well in this BO5. That being said, I also felt like my team was playing really, really good. So honestly, I don't care at all who gets the MVP. I just think all of this doesn't actually matter if we lose tomorrow as well. So I don't care. I just want to, rest a little bit and just play tomorrow. And if we win then, okay, of course, I'm going to be very happy. But I'm going to be happy because we will be the best team. We will get to go to Messiah, but not because I got the MVP. I mean, sure, it's like nice flex, but it's fine,
Yeah, I mean, MVPs don't always make it to the finals, right? But you won the Kia Player of the Series here. So let's take a look at the bracket then. G2, we were memeing about it, about possibly the loser bracket run, but this is the most insane loser bracket run I've seen in quite a while. 9-0 Broxa, and now tomorrow they are up versus the final boss, Rogue. What do you think?
Well, I feel like G2 has showed once again that, even though they're down, even though they lose that first series, they're just so good at adapting, finding ways to improve and really come back. And at this point, Rogue for sure is going to be shaking a little playing against this G2, because G2 looks so different now than they did in the first series against Fnatic. And both of these teams are also just so mental resilience. Like the mental resilience is really, through the roof in both of them. And I'm so excited to see what's going to happen, because I feel like a lot of teams have a hard time like actually coming back when things go south. But now both G2 and Rogue have showed that even if things are a little tricky, they can actually make the big plays and come back.
So what you're saying is we should get like 5 games, ideally.
Well, I'm kind of hoping for it.
Ideally. caPs, what do you think?
I think Rogue is actually a very strong team. I think, as I mentioned before, right, but we've been doing really well in scrims all year, and it makes us obviously very confident. But Rogue is a team that's actually like contesting us. I still feel like we can definitely beat them. I still feel like we're even favored. But they're definitely a strong team, and if we let our guards down, or if we play like we played, for example, in the first Fnatic series, I'm sure they're going to destroy us. So we'll just have to show up like we did today. Maybe a few adaptations. Obviously, Rogue has different drafts, different playstyles. But as long as we punish them when they end, then I'm sure we can take it.
Jankos?
Yeah, I mean, I feel the same way, right? I think Rogue clearly showed that they were the best team in Europe so far, and I also have a lot of respect for Malrang. I think he is the best jungler I will get to play in this playoffs. I think that everyone else is actually quite much worse than him, and I feel like it will be quite a contested jungle matchup. And I also feel like he's just a good player, right? And Rogue is a good team, and they know how to play around lanes. And the memes about him just ganking is not necessarily true. I think the way he does things is actually quite smart. So definitely excited to play against him. Definitely excited to play against Rogue. The 2 games we had in the regular season, we went like 0-2 and we got smashed 2 games. I think that's a bit fake. I think we are much better now, and I think we can beat them, and I think we will beat them.
I know you dropped the word Giga Chat earlier, and that was all people were saying about Malrang, right? The Giga Chat Malrang after last week. Broxa, we've talked about it a little bit in Ready Check already, but now that you've seen how G2 has approached Fnatic, what do you think the opportunities are, and who to you is the underdog?
I feel like it's really hard to say. Now I have caPs staring at me. I feel pressured. No, but it's actually really hard to say.
It's fun to be underdog.
I feel like both Rogue and G2 have looked so good in like the past couple of weeks. I would say right now with the momentum G2 is riding and the way they've looked, I would give G2 the edge for sure. But I actually think it's gonna. I think the jungle matchup is a big one for me, not only because I'm a jungle main, but I think it's a really interesting one where both Jankos and Malrang have been the most proactive junglers we've seen, and the early game is going to be so key and exciting to watch because both of them are bringing so many creative plays, getting their teams ahead, and that's going to be a key one.
You happy with that answer, caPs? That was good.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
I'll take it. Okay, nice. Now, caPs, one coming to you. obviously this was a matchup versus Humanoid, and we branded this as you are the two mid laners who together had the 8 last LEC titles. Obviously, it's a bit skewed in your favor. Tomorrow is Larson, the guy who's been chasing it so far. How do you think he's been doing? How do you think he's evolved? And how much trouble do you think you will have with him?
I mean, so I think he's playing well. And I feel like both him and Larson have improved a lot throughout the years, right? A few years ago, it felt like it was usually easy matches when I played against them. And obviously last year, they both managed to defeat us. And even this playoffs, Humanoid won a BO5 against us. So I think both of them are playing really well. I think a big thing for me is just like playing with confidence, as always. I've beaten both of them many times before, and I will just look to do it again.
Mm-hmm. I know that you gave some interviews in the regular set where you said, I'm actually not that happy with the way I played necessarily. How happy are you now that you've done the 9-0? And of course, you've got the biggest task coming up tomorrow.
I mean, I think there's still works to improvement, but I think I'm at least better at like appreciating the good plays. And then sure, there will be some mistakes, but I think I'm better at just being okay with that, because I think there will always be mistakes. And having the confidence is like the most important for me. As I mentioned, I've beaten them before. I want to beat them again tomorrow. And as long as my jungle smurfs again, then we'll win.
Okay, final note then. Jankos, you said it already, the fans are kind of like the most important thing. Also, the fact that this intro that happened today, which to me was so crazy.
Oh, it's so insane. I watched it on YouTube yesterday, like the Twitter thingy, like the intro, holy moly. It was really good.
But I mean, you guys stepping on stage with the, Trevor introducing you.
That's what you meant. Yeah, it was fine.
No, but aren't you excited to tomorrow also just get that epic start to a match? Because I can imagine, especially when you play from home, but then also here without fans, you set up, you do your tech checks, whatever, you sit down, you start, whatever, right? But are you looking forward to that kind of adrenaline that's going to come tomorrow?
I mean, I think tomorrow we get to play in front of an audience. Then we also get to play for everything.
Yeah.
Either like everything or nothing. It actually doesn't matter in Spring Split if you play second, it doesn't matter at all. And on top of that, we'll have a banger opening ceremony that I don't know what will happen, but I suppose there will be one.
Yeah.
And that just makes me feel really good. And that's all. I feel good, really good.
Awesome. I had to buy a little bit of time for them to make the end of day video because it was a 3-0 and that's what happens. But thank you so much. Congratulations.
Thank you.
We'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow is G2 versus Rogue, our spring final. We'll have the LEC warm-up starting at 12, so that's at noon. We will have team videos. We have a DJ set from Wave. We'll have Between Two Iverns, and we will have 1 hour ready check starting at 4 p.m. CEST and the opening ceremony as requested by Jankos at 5 p.m. CEST. Time for a little selfie. The almost last one, and then maybe another one tomorrow with these two, or with Rogue. We'll see.
Maybe some of our other teammates, of course.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah.
I mean, we are the cool guys, I know. Like, if we win, you'll play the one
I
thing.
didn't have a mic, so I couldn't answer, but yeah, all right, here we go.
Do I bring mic as well?
Do what you like. Awesome. Awesome. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Guys, go.
Thank you.
We'll see you all tomorrow for the spring finals. Good night.